Good morning, Ricky. Barely. Oh, I was so beat yesterday. My God. Saturday was a very long day. Oh. Oh. Very long day. I'm getting a little bit too old to do that, but I still want to do it every now and then. Lawson, good morning. Visiting Mindanao. Day drinking with Ace. Yeah. Well, I was pretty smart about it considering we started so early. A couple of beers and then a couple of Gatorades, then a couple of beers, then a couple of Gatorades. So by the time we ended our daytime bar hop from noon to 6 p.m. at Red's Bar at the Arizona. By the way, fantastic lineup there. My goodness. Fantastic lineup at Red's Bar at the Arizona. They were like the big winner of the weekend. Them and Nipsey's. Nipsey's had some really pretty girls. Ah, did you move to Antipolo? I thought you were in Mount Arayat, Mount Arayat City. Or am I remembering that wrong? I'm probably remembering it wrong, huh? Thanks for joining, Ricky Lawson's. That combined with the fact that it's been so hot, man. I mean, we're supposed to be in the time of the year when it is supposed to be high season. We're in December now. See what the temperature is right now. I didn't have time to put the banner up. I had to meet somebody at oh yeah, that's about right. It's just at 78 Fahrenheit right now. So and the high is 87. So it's going to be a lot cooler today. It was in the 90s the last couple of days and over the weekend. And in Zubik, uh, it just feels hotter for some reason. You always think, you get up close to the water, it's going to be nicer. It's not the case here. It's warmer next to the ocean. What's up? The Igsterama. Iggy Pop. Did a little bar hopping with Iggy Friday night. That was fun.
Long Pizza, good morning, sir. Cool waves and tasty buds. That's all we need. Hey, Iggy, Saturday night was horrible. It was like half the girls in Barretto went home after the Friday night shift. It was horrible. Yeah. Reds Bar at the Arizona, Iggy, was just unbelievable. The big winner of the weekend. Reds Bar and Nipsey's. Jim Schultz, good morning. Yeah, Saturday night there was just it was kind of a bummer, really. But we ended up in Queen Victoria. They've always got a good band there, right? So, but yeah, it was pretty bad. Friday night was awesome. Lots of fun. My first time in there, Iggy, since 2014. My first time at Red since 2014. I was shocked. Jim, Joan is from Sitio Bayad. Sitio Bayad, which is basically Kananga Leyte. Kananga is the city. And then Ormoc city is about 30 minutes from Kananga. She's in Sitio Bayad. We were up, the whole family, just about the entire night. We're such a weird family. They just went to bed about 6 a.m., 6:30 this morning. Joan and the baby. I passed out, not drunk or anything, but I passed out about 8 p.m. last night and woke up at 1 a.m. So I've been up since 1 o'clock. Yeah, I know. Secret long. It's like Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movie, He Whose Name Shall Never Be Spoken, or something like that. Voldemort. We ended up at Saturday morning. We did a run through Royal just to check it out. I know you said it sucked. It's not too bad. I mean, they've got a fairly good selection of stuff, but they were out of stock on a lot of the American cereals and the Pop-Tarts. So, but there was the highlight of the Royal trip was the Fundador girl that was giving out free shots of Fundador. And she would even offer you a second one. She had a big cooler with the bottles of Fundador down in ice. So she was giving ice cold shots of Fundador. So that was exciting. And that was about, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. We got out there. And then we went over to Harbor Point. No. Here, Jim, I'm going to put it up. Ah. You see that? Sitio Bayad. I think it's right on the same level. I don't think there's much difference between the Emperador and the Fundador. They're even, I think the Fundador is only a little bit more, maybe 20 pesos more per bottle. I'm on the Alfonso now, which is quite a bit better than Emperador. And Alfonso's about 100 pesos more per bottle than Emperador. And it's a pretty big difference. Sitio Bayad. Yeah, it's well, in the village that she's in, there can't be more than 20 homes. 10 on one side of the road, 10 on the other. It's a very small rice village. And everybody's there to everybody's, has their plot of land there that they work. And it was really bad this year. That tropical storm, was it Christine or yeah, I think it was Christine that went through a couple of months ago, maybe 10 weeks ago. Yeah, it's probably not even on. What you want to do is type in Cananga Leyte. I doubt that Sitio Bayad was toured by Google Maps. It's probably not on there. And I think you're right. When we were there, I did the same thing. And once you get off the main road in Cananga, you lose all the street names because they just didn't go back there, The sitio is the name they use in the province. It basically just designates a small barangay. Here it's always barangay, barangay Dau, barangay Pampang, barangay Kuwayan. But in the province, they're broken down into sitios, which are much smaller. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, Jim. You were actually in Cananga, weren't you? Didn't you go through Cananga on a bus or something? There's not much there. Although they did just get their first Jollibee. That's how small it is. That's always a designator of how small the city is whether they have their own. If there's no Jollibee, which there wasn't when I visited, they didn't have a Jollibee yet. Yeah, she is. I can show you, Jim. I can send you a map because we're connected. I can drop a pin right on top of her house and show you right where she's at, and you'll see just how. Let's see. From Cananga, we went even further east to get into her sitio. Yeah, I just got this StreamYard back up and running, so In the city, Sitio was more like a neighborhood name. Yeah. Ah, north of Ormoc. Well, that would be right. Yeah, that would be right in her area. Jonah probably knows them. You know, everybody knows everybody there. When we were on our way out, coming back to Angeles from Ormoc, we stayed in Ormoc a couple of nights, or we stayed actually 3 nights. And the first night that we're there, we're walking through SM Ormoc, which is very, very small mall, probably not more than 30 stores. It's about the size of SM Tarlac, which is also very small. And we're just cruising through. There's not a whole lot going on. And there's still all this strict pandemic restrictions. You had to have a certain thing on your phone. You still had to wear a mask. And Ormoc held on to the virus probably longer than anybody. And we're cruising through there, both wearing masks. And sure enough, she looks to the right, and there's her best friend that she graduated high school with. And she's got a foreigner. She's married to a foreigner, and they live in Ormoc. So we got hooked up. And just by chance, we happened to go to the mall at the right time. He had this big Ford truck that was brand new, or was it a Toyota? I don't remember. And they came and picked us up at the hotel every night, and we went touring to do something. The coolest restaurant, the coolest, there's not a lot of touristy stuff to do, but we got hooked up because she just happened to run into her girlfriend. I mean, they were best friends in high school. It's amazing that they pulled that off because, they're masked up. So we were really lucky that we ran into them because there's nothing to do in Ormoc. Nothing at all. No stray dogs in Ormoc. I don't remember. And we were the only part of Ormoc that we really toured or spent a lot of time in was the area right there next to the SM City, which is walking distance to the port. We did get out in an area called Mexico. We went out with her batchmate and her husband that night and met another expat who was living out there. It was called Mexico or something. Mexico, Sitio, Mexico. Probably about a 20-minute drive only. You won't believe what I did last night. Pulled a bonehead move. We've got my buddy's car, Chris Calbo. You guys have seen him in the vlog. Hardly any stray dogs. I wonder. Yeah, we have a Mexico town proper, just south of us. I heard mayors in many cities have enforced stray dog laws. Well, that's good, but I mean, what's going to happen to them? Are they just, are they picking them all up and euthanizing them, or his Suzuki? Yeah, Ricky, yeah. The Suzuki Espresso. I've had that since Friday morning. I picked it up from him, or Thursday night, actually. We drove that down to Subic, and it's a great little car. I tell you what, I am pretty impressed with that little car. That little 3-cylinder motor, it's fine. Oh, they disappear. Huh. Well, it must be somebody that's, really good, because it's pretty hard to get close to an ask cow. It's pretty hard. I mean, we friended one over in Daou. This dog was beautiful for a dog that lived outside. Hey, Mick, what's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping in, Mick. I already lost my train of thought. Doing good, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I probably can't even repeat that. What Iggy put up there. I might get a 1 week ban. Mix in Vietnam. Yeah, baby. Hey, what city you in? Saigon? Da Nang, maybe? Where did you go, Mick? No worries, Iggy. I just didn't want to say it out loud because you never know, you know. Saigon. Okay. Everyone is so woke now, you know. I love Saigon. District 1, baby. Go, District 1. Go, District 1. So much fun there. So anyway, I had so we've got Chris's car, and I didn't find what I wanted down at the duty free on Subic Base. Mick Train, I sure will. Thank you for stopping by, brother. She's sleeping right now, but she remembers you. So we'd have padlocks. You know, this house has really nice gates. Every entrance has a gate that you can lock with a padlock from the outside for double protection. And that's what we normally do. Yeah. Adrian Smith, good morning. The Huntington Beach dude. Are you a surfer, Adrian? So we're not used to having a car, right? And on each set of motorbike keys that I have, I've got 3 sets. There's one of those padlock keys on all 3 sets of the motorbike keys. Well, last night, I forgot. All I had was Chris Calbo's keys, the keys to the car. True Chief, good morning. I step outside the door because we went to the Pure Gold duty free, Joan and the baby and I. And we went to Pappy's for dinner. So I step outside the house, close the gate, lock it all up, off we go. I don't think anything about it. And when we get back home, I realized that I had locked us out of the house because I didn't have a set of motorbike keys with me. You know, I've got the trike, I've got the NMAX, and I've got the sniper. Normally it's not an issue because we're always taking the trike. And we got home and we're locked out of the house at about 8:30 at night. So I had to go down to the guard shack and talk to the guards, and they sent their maintenance guy over, and he busted the lock off for me. True Chief, you came from Philly Brian's channel. Oh, okay. Nice. I know the lad well. Philly in the Philippines. Thanks for joining the channel, True Chief. Is that a Raiders? My eyesight's not so good. But I do have reading glasses somewhere. Looks like Raiders. Go Raiders. Adrian, you're a golfer only. I scare the fish if I surfed. Ah, you would scare the fish if you surfed? I heard they are out of power on Siargao. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. That's pretty provincey. I sure wouldn't want to live there. I don't want to live anywhere where I'm going to deal with, you know, only 12 hours a day of power. A lot of the provinces are like that. You get power at night only, and it's off all day long. It's the way Ron Blanc is. Just couldn't do it. Manuel, good morning, sir. Six days in Siargao. Yeah. Luckily, we don't get many out here. If it's an unscheduled power outage, it's never been more than 10, 15 minutes. And then the scheduled ones, they are really good because they're doing a road improvement down Poinsettia Avenue, and they've had to relocate the poles. Yeah, believe it or not, they're doing that. They're getting the poles out of the middle of the road. I know that's shocking, but they're actually moving the poles out of the road and into the easement side of the road again. It always cracked me up down there on National Highway where they widened the road and left the poles in the middle of the road on one side. I think it's been fixed now because I didn't see that this weekend. And we've had now 2 different power outages as a result of the pole transfer. It's called a pole transfer. They go in, they hang the new, they pound in the new poles one at a time, get that all set up and aligned. They hang their strand, then they come back all in one day and transfer all those lines over to the new pole. The power grid can't handle it. Yeah. Again, that's that's an infrastructure problem that could easily be handled. It can be fixed. There's a solution to it, but you got to build, an additional generating station, and that costs money, and No, it's like the wind gym that we had when we were kids. The steam train set, Lionel. Is that what it was called? Lionel? It's like that, where you have that little plastic bottle. Did you have one of those? It was some kind of oil, and you would just put a couple of drops down the old chute, fire that thing up, and it would smoke. Choo, 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 choo. I had one of those. Electric train set. Some of those old Lionel sets are worth a lot of money. Oh, we've got 8 a.m. here. So that's 7 p.m. in the U.S. I was at Dynamite Dick's yesterday for lunch, talking, chatting. Dynamite Dick's. I've never eaten there. Dynamite Dick's is the one that has beer so cold that it's colder than his ex-wife's heart, right? That's the one. Yeah. Ricky, I remember having a plastic bottle that had some kind of oil in it. It smelled really weird. And it would, the instructions were to put 2 drops down there, and it would smoke for maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, you missed a good view, Jim. There's a pretty good view from that restaurant. James Lonergan, welcome back, Bubby. How you doing, bro? I thought I was starting to think I might be live streaming too early for Big Jimmy to join us. I'm starting at 7:30 now. And once everybody gets in, if it's better to start at 8, I can do that. I was starting at 7. Maybe that's too early. It's too early for the Philippines crowd. Immigration. Okay. He's doing the immigration extension. Do you do it yourself, James, or are you going through a travel agent? Okay, so you're going to immigration yourself. Okay. You might want to look into it. I always went and did it myself too because it was easy. I got there when they opened, and it was just always so easy. I couldn't figure out what everybody was complaining about. But here in Angela City, a lot of the guys go to the travel agent because they don't have to pay the express fee, which is 1,000 pesos. So it ends up being about 500 cheaper through a travel agent than it is to do it yourself. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? Why would you do it yourself if you can get it cheaper? I never knew that. Of course, I only had to extend as a tourist twice, and then my SRRV came through. Now I'm sitting pretty. I'm on a lifetime visa that never, ever expires. That's one thing the Philippines has over the other Southeast Asian countries. These visas that they offer, the visas that they offer prior military especially. Let's see what we've got for exchange rate here today. 57.90. 57.90. So it's starting to dive a little bit. We were up to a couple of weeks ago. It hit 59.89. Everybody thought it was going to hit 60. And then it dropped 1 point overnight. Mike Foodie, good morning. Our resident Canadian chef. Mike Foodie / Ramsey. Yeah, Mike. $40.92. 4092. Yeah. When it hit 59, I got 59.40 from Bank of Commerce. When it hit 59, I immediately transferred 10K and went and took half of it out and put it all in the bank. Yeah, you're at 40.92. So you're still basically at 41, Mike. What do you do for excitement? You're looking at it pretty much. And now that I'm getting out a little bit more, I just get out. I'm still going to the Korean spa, which actually I'm probably going to do that today. I've got nothing else going on today after this. I might head over to the Korean spa. for a couple of hours. Maybe hit Pappy's after that for some tacos. You know, for me, Jim, before I was just sitting at home. Check the rate later after the banks open. Seemed to me weekend exchange rates are always a bit lower. Yeah, that's true. Adrian Smith, I was just talking about that. It's funny how you brought that up. I was just talking about that with Ace Bachelor Cool at breakfast yesterday. Do you know what happened? You know what that guy did? That guy was a troll. I wasn't wearing a shirt, but it's not like my man boobs were hanging out. Actually, I was in pretty good shape then. I don't think I had man boobs. But it's not like you could only see from the, you know. And that guy was reaming me. Do you know what that guy did? He created a YouTube profile, and he called, the name of the profile was Naked Philo on Steve Montelli's live stream. And he would go all over YouTube trolling people with that name. He was even trolling me with it. Jim Schultz, I was getting 26-1 in 85 in a long oppo. It was 26-1, 1985. Probably, when were we over there? We were there in August. Yeah, that was about August of 85. And then we went back in October of 85 on the way home for another 30 days. Mike Foodie, same here. Same here. By the way, ran into Steve Montelli on Beloit Beach Road Saturday. Steve Montelli actually lives on Beloit Beach Road. It was good to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. You know what? It was good for the live stream. Back then, I had no problem just cussing somebody out who was an idiot. Now I don't say anything. Just ignore their comment. Because that's what really pisses them off. If you let them get underneath your skin, it's like sick grandpa, you know. If you let that guy get under your skin, that's what he's doing it for. Yeah. Me and Ace were walking from Harley's over to his resort because I told him I had never heard of it and I wanted to see where it was at. So as we're doing that walk, Montelli's going to, he's walking to Sitting Bull for breakfast. He looks good. And Steve's got that radio voice, right? He's got that perfect voice for a live stream. I mean, that's what he needs to do, is just do it live. I'm pretty sure that he even was a radio host, right? He was a voice on the radio. I can't remember. I think he was. But I'm a dumbass, you know. I'm always getting something wrong or forgetting something. That was funny. So funny you mentioned that. He's still out there. Naked Philo on Steve Montelli's stream. He's still out there. I saw a comment probably 6 months ago from that, which was funny because I haven't been on in so long. It's funny that, yeah, Steve is from the medical field. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have an emergency. Please help me. I have another emergency. This is my third one this week. No way. Was he really on? I didn't know Steve was from Southern California. Greg Bass Night. Good morning, sir. Greg and Carr. But Carr is here and you are there. What a bummer. Tell Carr to come out and see us. We've got lots of oolong in the ref. Tell her that. We have lots of oolong in the ref. And there's always fresh rice cooking. KEZY. I remember that station. That it was easy listening, wasn't it? KEZY. Yeah, easy listening, Orange County. Wow. I'm sure they're not around anymore because Orange County doesn't have anything that belongs to itself anymore. Remember Orange County had its own news channel for a while? Don't remember the name of it now. I bet Adrian does. There was a news channel that was specifically Orange County only. Don't remember the name of it, though. Anaheim. Oh, wow. So me and O Montelli have chewed some of the same dirt. I probably knew that and forgot it, you know. I always liked Montelli's live because he's got the greatest voice, you know. It's calming. He has a very calming voice, live stream voice. Unlike mine, you know, mine's just annoying. People, you know, hang out for 5 minutes and they leave because they're like, God, he's annoying. All right, looks like we're not. Yeah, Greg, I was just looking, I'm friends with the owner of that bar. And I was just looking back in his Facebook timeline to see right about what time it opened. And yeah, it's a shame he didn't make it, but I mean, those were some pretty lofty dreams, really. That bar was huge. To have, you know, go-go bar on floor 1, sports bar on floor 2, or was it the other way around? No, the go-go bar was downstairs, sports bar, and then a restaurant, full restaurant on top. It's pretty lofty, you know, especially for as bad as the tourism now. There's hardly anybody here. I told you guys I was on Walking Street, yeah, Adrian, a couple of weeks ago on a Friday night, and it was dead. Nothing. And Friday night is the night. It used to be. Yeah, oh, Steve Montelli, he's just. I was joking with him. I shook his hand. I go, Steve, I haven't spoken to you. Last time I spoke to you was about 8 girlfriends ago. And he just started laughing. He goes, fuck you, Philo. Because he goes through them, doesn't he? Just numbers are supported. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Wolfpack does with that bar now, because it's a Wolfpack bar. The old slogan, too big to fail, does not apply here. I mean, we were in Dollhouse on a Friday night and there was like 6 customers. Me and Ace were the loudest. They all moved to. Are people still moving to Dumageddon? I thought that phase had passed. Yeah. And funny enough, Iggy, the rumor, the Chismis is that those are the best girls in the city. It happens. The bars, a lot of the girls are super lazy, so they'll only work for a month. And then they'll go back, or they live here in Angeles, but they'll only work for a month. Then they take a month off. Yeah, I wasn't threatened, Ricky. He knew. he, I remember I had a long time ago. He used to come. He would come into my live stream occasionally. I would go into his. That was back when there weren't a whole lot of vloggers. There weren't a whole lot of us, maybe 50 total. The period that I'm speaking of. Now there's so many. My God. Yeah, Iggy. Red Bar was still pretty good. That little Samar girl was in there. I don't know. It just seemed like Saturday night, like half the girls in each bar took the night off. You know what I mean? It just didn't seem as happening as Friday was. And that could have been all in my head too, right? Because your first night out on Barreto, you're like all stoked. It's like when you go to Vegas, you're all happy. You blow it out in Vegas that first night, you wake up and you're kind of going, I'm still got another night here. That's the way it worked for me anyway. And the second night's not nearly as fun because you're almost over it. You just want to go home. You spend so much money there. My God. But it's kind of the same feeling. It's better to just really, the VFW guys. Boy, there was a shit ton of them. We were in Sloppy Joe's. We started out Saturday. Me and Ace started out at Cheap Charlie's. Went from Cheap Charlie's to Sloppy Joe's. And Sloppy Joe's, they had to find a place for him and I to sit. Me and Ace. The girls had to make a place for us to sit. It was packed. All VFW guys. So yeah, you're right. That's probably what it was. That's probably what it was. I didn't feel like we ran into that many of them though, that night. We saw our share. Oh, I love Red Rock. I love Red Rock Canyon. I've done a shit ton of hiking in there back in the day. But Red Rock is kind of an area, right, Adrian, where there's track homes and stuff. Red Rock Canyon's beautiful, man. If you go in there with the right camera, oops. I got some killer shots because I had a really nice Nikon. I bought a Nikon 35 mil just for that trip. Yeah, Iggy, you're right. They probably earned their night off, right? Like, I'm not working tonight. I'm done. All right, we're not really that busy this week. Well, that's not long ago, Iggy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've stayed at that resort. It's very nice. You're right. What was it called? I stayed at a place called Green something. Oh, it's beautiful. Greg, Atlantis has not opened. No, it's for sale currently. Mike Foodie, I have not. And the reason I haven't tried the wings at Pappy's is we make them once a week here. Because Jonah, that's like one of her addictions. She loves chicken wings. Thank you, Greg. Green Valley Ranch. What a great hotel casino. Sorry, Adrian. I was talking about Green Valley. But I know I've been to the Red Rock to play slots before. And I think I've stayed there too, if I remember correctly. It was nice. It was one at the time we stayed there. It was one of the newer casinos, resorts. This would have gone back to 2008, maybe 2009, somewhere in that area. Iggy's giving gambling tips. You got to listen to this guy. Excuse me, guys. Quick CR run. Okay, sorry about that. Where are we at? CR music. I'll remember that. I'll have to pick a certain tune. And I won't even say nothing. I'll just play that music. You guys will all know what's going on. Aliente has free alcohol. Hey, Mike, good morning. Our Philippine Journey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ace Bachelor Cool in the house. Hello, Ace. You're a little late to the show. Thanks for joining, Ace. Are you watching from Tequila Reef? Isn't today a golf day for you? You might be off the golf course already if you started at 6. Hey, Ace, don't forget tomorrow is our driving range adventure. If you still want to go. If you still want to go. After breakfast on the rail at the reef, go hit some golf balls. Yeah, Ace is on the golf course or just finishing up. Ah, that's right, Iggy. I forgot that. That's why you go to the nickel slots and you play really, really slow. You get fucked up. So I thought I would give you guys a little background on Jonah because we've never done it. We've never really talked much about what happened with her from the age of 18 until now. She's 30. So I thought maybe it would be interesting. I don't know. Sit on the penny slots all night. Penny slots. Well, that's going low, Iggy. Shit. I said nickels and you said pennies. I bet you they don't walk through the penny slots section as much as they do the quarter slots. You're probably likely to get more drinks in the quarter slot than you are in the penny slot, right? We can take a vote on the Jonah story. If it's boring, we can do it another time. I'll make a video on it, if it's too boring for live stream. But I just thought it'd be interesting. I know that, yeah. I know what it is, Mike. I see that. I can actually see that. My eyesight's not horrible, but sometimes things are blurred, I do need readers. But I can drive without glasses, stuff like that. It's not that bad. All right. So I'll tell you what I know, because I know quite a bit of the story. Obviously, she was born in the province, Kananga, Leyte. 94, I believe, is Jonah's birthday. Is that right? Yeah, because 95, she's 31. February 10th of 94 is her birth date. And she's one of three. So her parents didn't really bury the family. You know what I mean? Because a lot of Filipino families are buried with kids. And it just makes the family more and more poor. So she's one of three kids. She's got a brother and a sister, both of which are older than her. Her brother's currently in Bulacan. Her brother is a firefighter in Divisoria. Her sister works at the 999 Mall in Divisoria. So the one thing that stood out to me that Jonah had said about her childhood is that, nice, Iggy, she had mentioned to me that they were so poor that oftentimes her sister and her brother and herself would go to school with nothing but rice. So the way Jonah got around that is they had a small canteen in the public school there in Kananga that sold a couple of different types of ulam. They might have, pork adobo one day. They might have, sisig the next, or probably not sisig, but pancit canton or something like that. So what Jonah would do, this is when she's a little kid, she'd climb the mango trees and climb the guava trees and collect as many as she could carry and sell them off to the neighborhood, because she had a 7-kilometer walk to school. She'd sell them off, or she'd trade them to people for, a little bite of food so she could take it to school. And you just don't, that kind of hit me hard. Can you imagine a young child that only has rice because that's all they had? She's from a poor family, but she parlayed that. Or she would even trade the rice to somebody for ulam, like one chicken leg or one, And then when she got to the canteen, she would take, 2 or 3 pesos that she had earned from selling her mangoes on the way to school and buy rice. So that it's just, it really hits you hard when you realize that, she had a little side hustle to get food so she could eat every day. So once she, gets through school, gets through high school. By the way, her high school was so far away that she had to sleep at the school and only came home on the weekends. It was so far away. They couldn't afford to get her a ride back and forth every night. So when she spent 4 years in a little housing project they had for the kids, because all the kids are like that. They're all poor. They can't afford to go home. So the Department of Education had like a stay in basically set up for the children or the kids. They're not really children in high school, but so they didn't have to go home. And I think they got one meal a day or something, from this. And once she graduates high school, she gets a job through a cousin or somebody in Bulacan at a small grocery store, kind of like a Johnny's, or not Johnny's, kind of like JJ's Market. She worked in a place like JJ's for 5 years, stocking shelves, doing this, doing that, sending all the money home. And she always speaks very highly of the owner of that grocery store because they operated a stay in for all the employees they had to stay in upstairs. And Jonah said it was nice. They had a nice TV and it was, a nice bed to sleep on. And the owner of the grocery store would feed them dinner at night after they got off their shift. So she speaks very highly of these people and how nice they were. They would take them on trips down to, like where Taal volcano is. They'd take them down there and they'd go to different places. And they went to Puerto Galera once. She took the whole staff to Puerto Galera. So the owner of the grocery store was really, really nice and did a lot for these people. And Jonah was very grateful for that. And I don't know why she left the grocery store. I don't really remember what the story is, why she left. But she ends up in Divisoria, working with her sister, or working in the same mall as her sister. But Jonah was one of these, you guys know how they have these lemonade stands that are in the food courts of different, not necessarily SM malls or Ayala malls, but you see them a lot in like Jumbo Genra and things like that. Jonah was the lemonade girl, where you had that like metal vise and you squeeze the lemons into a cup. And she did that for a year. And what's funny about that is her lemonade stand was just about 20 steps away from Gina's curtains. Tito Road and Gina. But they never really crossed paths or never recognized one another, until they saw Jonah. And then Gina says, "Boy, you sure do look familiar." And Jonah goes, "Yeah, I just worked right there." Jonah was so surprised when I took her to Gina's curtains. And she's tugging on my shirt. She goes, "That was my job right there, that lemonade stand." So she worked just, a 30-second walk away from Tito Road and his wife for a year. And then through another cousin, she found out that there were a bunch of openings in Angela City at this particular spa. She had a cousin that worked at the spa. And this was, pre-pandemic, you guys. This is like 2016, 2017. So Jonah took a chance and she left Divisoria, took the bus to Da'u, met her cousin, went through the training. They had a training program this lady did for her spa. It was all clean massage because the owner of the spa didn't want to have that reputation. And not only that, but at that particular time, they were raiding bars almost weekly on Walking Street. And she didn't want her girls giving the spa that type of name, even when they did a home service, because they do home service too. And she did find out that a couple of girls were doing, giving the customers extras in the home service. And the way she found out about this was one of the regular home service customers came into the spa or the salon and picked Jonah to do the massage. And about 30 minutes in, because you spend 30 minutes getting your back and back of your legs done, then they flip you, of course, and they do your legs or feet from the leg and your arms. And Jonah said it was a big black guy, right? And he normally got home service. And he asked Jonah, "Aren't you going to give me a hand job?" And Jonah didn't even know what that was. I mean, this is a girl from the province, right? And he was mad. He kind of yelled at her. She starts crying. And the guy says, "Stop acting innocent. We all know what's going on in this spa." Well, it turns out the girl that was doing the home service for him was giving him extras when she wasn't supposed to. And that's how the owner found out, because the guy got up, got dressed, and didn't pay. He left the spa. He was pissed off because Jonah wouldn't whack him off, which they don't do in the spa to begin with. And the girl got fired that was doing the extras, because that's how the boss found out she was doing it, from that customer. So it was really like a not Nuat Thai massage place, right? Just straight massage. And again, like I said, this is going through a time that they were doing undercover stuff and a bunch of the massage parlors, and the owner just didn't want any part of it, even though the girls could make extra money. And, you know, it is up to them if they do this or not, but she didn't want to be associated with it. So that was very early. That was like the first month that Jonah worked there that happened. So now she's terrified of foreigners, and she's especially terrified of black guys, right? But time went on, and things got better. They picked up. She tells me that at one point, around 2018, she was doing 10 massages a day. 10 a day. They were so busy. You know, pre-pandemic, that salon made a ton of money. And they had 8 girls working there. So, and it's only, let's see. They only had 4 massage beds and 8 girls working. So, and then one day comes this guy on a motorbike carrying his laundry. She's now at the massage parlor. She's now working at the salon for 5 years. Oh, shit. Why does somebody always ring the doorbell? Bookmark that page. I'll be right back. Okay. Jonah's getting it. It's probably one of her Lazadas anyway. Is everybody still there? Is the story that good? Okay, so Jonah's been there 5 years, and she's doing really well. She's sending all the money home. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, that when she was in Divisoria, she had a boyfriend, got pregnant from that boyfriend, and had the daughter. The daughter's now 5 years old. The daughter is still in the province, okay? Laundry guy. No, we do all of our own laundry. And then is Lazada. Lazada. Randy Woods, good morning. So anyway, things worked out really good for her, because she went from the grocery store to Divisoria, where she didn't make a lot of money, had a Chinese owner, but it was still good because she was living with her sister. So she had no overhead. At this point, she's sending all the money just for her family. Then she has the daughter. She gets pregnant and doesn't know she's pregnant, moves to Angeles City to start at the salon. Okay, then she finds out, obviously, a couple of months in, that she's pregnant. Laundry guy. Did I? Oh, that's me. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm actually backtracking because I forgot a few things. So she's there working in the salon about 6 months and realizes that she's pregnant. So she works until she's 6 months pregnant, because Jonah's so small you couldn't tell, right? It's going to turn a lot of guys off. They don't want to be massaged. There's that whole, most of the guys are creepy anyway, right? Most of the guys here are creepy to begin with. And they're going to have a problem, even though Jonah she gives a great massage, you guys. All 82 pounds of her. She's really good at it. It's amazing how strong the little hands are. So she hightails it back to the province after about 6 or 8 months at the salon. Has the baby and stays in the province for a year. Once the baby is a year old, I'm getting there, Iggy. Once the baby's a year old, she comes back to Angeles, gets her job back, starts working. So now there's even more of a need to make money because she's got the daughter. Not only is she supporting her daughter, but the family. Now, she's not necessarily supporting them. She's helping them because they do have income from the rice farm, right? And as time passes, she, believe it or not, only went home, I believe, when her daughter was about 3. No, that's wrong. Her daughter was a year old when she left Leyte to come back to Angeles. And the massage parlor, the owner of the salon, paid for it, sent Jonah the money. Get back here. We've got tons of customers that are asking for you because, she's got that million peso smile and she's good at what she does. So time passes. She's there 5 years. And then this foreigner pulls up on a motorbike, right? One day. This is close to Christmas time. He's got his laundry. And because there was a really great laundry shop right next door to the salon where she worked. A lot of people went there. It was just known. This guy was staying at the Clarkton, right? So he pulls up on the motorbike and has already had a bad day. He's already been a victim of the Filipino fuckery. You know what I mean? Something's happened. Everybody knows what that's like. It's probably about 1 o'clock, right? And the laundry place opens at 10 a.m. So the guy pulls up. The laundry place isn't open. It's 1 p.m. And he's got nowhere to put his laundry because he's already checked out of the hotel. It's a full fuckery. You know what I mean? It's a full fuckery. He's checked out of the hotel. He knows that he's already got his laundry done there a couple of times. And now for some reason they're not open. Somebody dropped the ball, right? And the guy's just like, fuck. Because he's having one of those days. And Jonah Dona looks at him with her big smile and goes, sir, the laundry's closed. And he says, yeah, no shit. I know that. I know the laundry's closed. I can see that. And she just smiles, right? Big smile. And Jonah says to the guy, hey, you want to try a massage? And the guy says to her, do you guys do extras? Do you do extras? She says, no, sir. We don't do anything like that here. It's not that kind of place. And the guy's thinking, and he's looking at Jonah, right? Because she's really a cutie, right? She's cute. Okay, so the guy goes in, tries out the massage. It's fantastic. Passes out, hangs out, talking to the girls afterwards. The owner's really nice. At this time, this is pandemic. There's only 2 girls working there, okay? Only 2 girls working in the salon, Jonah and an older lady that is affectionately called Mama Rochelle. She's typically the mama of all the girls. And next thing you know, oh, by the way, the guy on the motorbike is me. So that first meeting was, a good one. And it was in my head how nice she is and how she told me a little bit about herself, that she had a daughter and she sends all the money home and that she sleeps and she stays in the salon and that the owner buys her 1 meal a day while she's staying there. And she's been doing this for 5 years, sleeping in a nail salon. Sleeping in the salon. And just hustling, working 7 days a week, sending everything she made home. And so this is, right about the time that it's about a month after I separated from Melanie. And she's, I just kept saying to myself, she had her phone. She goes, oh, you're a vlogger. I'll subscribe to your channel. Okay, so she hands me her phone and the face of it is all cracked. And it's just, you can hardly even see the screen. But she's been using this phone for 2 years, she said. And so we try and bring YouTube up and it's just, it's not connecting. They've got Wi-Fi in the salon. And I'm just thinking to myself, my God, she lives this life and she's got a phone that doesn't even work too, So the first thing I'm thinking is I'm going to surprise her and buy her a phone for Christmas just because she's so nice, even though I didn't really know her that well. So I'm going back like every other day to get a massage, right? It's 300. I think at the time it was 300 for the massage, 1 hour. And then I would give her 200 as a tip, which was great for her. Those are her best customers. Anybody that gives, she said a tip of 100, she'd be really happy to get. So this is probably 3 weeks before Christmas, right? And I'm stopping by every now and then with just carinderia food and dropping off carinderia food for her and the other girl, the Mama Rochelle. And of course, they're very thankful for that. And then I would go off about whatever I was doing, because I was also moving into my apartment, and I had to not furnish it, but I had all this shit I've got to buy, cookware, because I wanted to do my own cooking. And, when you buy your own place, you've got a shit ton of stuff to do and to purchase. But every other day I would go back, or I would stop by there when she got off. She got off work at 8:30, and she would sit there at CPI call shop with me, for no more than 30 minutes, because she was afraid that the boss would get mad at her for leaving the salon. She was kind of scared of the boss, really, even though the boss was really nice. So this went on for a month. We never really had any type of a date or anything. I would just stop by at 8:30 when she got off. I'd sit at CPI and have a beer. She'd come down and we'd talk, whatever. We were getting to know each other, right? So then finally a month passed, and she says, I just want to let you know, my boyfriend is in town right now and wants to get back together with me. Now, we weren't official at this time. And I said, oh, okay. And the only thing I could think to say to her was, that's the father of your child. So go ahead, meet with him and see if you guys can work it out. Because he just split, right? He didn't want anything to do with of course, it's what they do here. He took off, and she really had no contact with him after the child was born. All of a sudden, he shows up, probably just wanting some boom boom, right? And she says, just let me, he's going to be here tonight at the salon, and I'm going to talk to him. And she goes, I've got a big decision to make, because now I like you. So anyway, she says, can you come by here at about 12 o'clock today? And I said, yeah. So I stopped by, and she hands me the phone back. She says, I want you to have the phone. I haven't started it up or anything yet, because I don't want you to think I'm taking advantage of you, right? She said, especially if I get back together with my boyfriend. And I go, okay, well, that's, again, ding, ding, good girl, right? And then, sorry, I missed a part. That's very important. I went there on Christmas Day for a massage. And when the massage was done, I gave Jonah $4K for a Christmas tip. And what does she do? She splits it with the other girls. She kept $2K and gave $1,000 to her friend and $1,000 to the owner for Christmas. And then when she told me that, I went, man, this is a good girl, right? And then the phone thing happened when she brings me the phone back. It's still in the case. It was a Vivo V20 or whatever. It was a nice phone, much nicer than what she had. So I take the phone and I go, oh, shit, it didn't work out, because I'm really hoping. I know this is the one. Put it back under the seat of my motorbike, and I just kind of went, okay, we'll see what happens. And we don't talk for a couple of days. Then all of a sudden, I get a message on her, because we were using WhatsApp at the time. She didn't want me to be on her Facebook because she didn't want any problems. She said, come back if you can today. I go, okay. And when I saw her, she said, he's still here in town. And she said, but I choose you. And I just want to make sure that I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I've got to see him tonight and tell him that it's completely off. She said, I don't want there to be any trouble for you, because maybe he's going to be crazy. And, she just didn't want me to be in any trouble. So at that point, I was like, oh, hey, that's cool, but it's still not official. And then she asked me again, she messaged me again, asked me to come by when she got off work at 8:30. And that's when she told me that she had decided to choose me and to make a go at it with me. But she wouldn't move in. She didn't want to move in or, cohabitate. And I said, that's fine. So for about another 2, 3 weeks, that was our routine. I would show up at 8:30 when she got off. We'd talk for 30 minutes, you know, and then finally I go, listen, you've got to talk to the owner of the salon and tell her that you want to move out of there. You've been living in there for 5 years. And I told her, if you want, you can come and live with me in my place. And we can really try and, see if this is all going to work out. And that still took her a week before she had built up the nerve to sit down and tell the owner that she wanted to move out of the salon because she was afraid the owner was going to be mad about it, right? And the reason that the owner would be mad is because other girls had done that with guys. It didn't work out, and then they came back and wanted to come back and move back in. And the owner was like, no, once you leave, you're on your own. She said the same thing to Jonah. She said to Jonah, okay. She goes, I think he's a good guy. He's been around a lot. And she told Jonah, if it doesn't work out, you can't come back. So that scared Jonah. But she did it anyway because she wanted to make a go of it. And there goes Ace. Has to fuck everything up. Ace Bachelor Cole. Fucking up my story. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. And here she is today. And now she's got a baby with me. So that's the story of Jonah Dona, the young Leyte girl that was sent to the city to earn money for her family. So even today, to this day, Jonah, the salary, I don't want to call it a salary, but what's it called? I give her money to spend on whatever she wants. What's that called? Help me out. Yeah, Jim, very much so. Very much so. If I can get the depression under control, allowance. Allowance is what it is. Thank you. The allowance that I give Jonah to this day, and believe it or not, I didn't know this was going on. She gets $2,500 a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is for her because she's a very simple person. She doesn't buy much. Someone like Jonah is likely to sit on that instead of spend it, and I just sent it directly to her Gcash, and I didn't know it, but just recently, about a month ago, she told me that she's been sending all that home. So, and as a result of that, her family has now rebuilt their house. They've added 2-3 rooms onto the house. They're laying tile on the floor, which they didn't have before. And I guess Jonah's mom's real excited for me to come back. She goes, tell Philip to come and see the house. He won't believe it. It's so nice now, So worked out. Not only did it work out for Jonah, but it worked out for her family. And I'm not, $10,000 a month is nothing, you guys, right? To a rich foreigner. I just figured that Jonah was hoarding her Gcash and letting it, because that's typical. It's typical of what a Filipino like Jonah would do, a province girl. The bar girls will spend it all right away. And then, send you a message. Please send me some more money. My cell phone's broken. But that is, we've never shared that story, so I thought maybe you guys might like to hear it. It's kind of choking me up. It's because I need a shot of Alfonso. Let's do a shot, Iggy. Oh. What does that say? El Hombre. These are everywhere in all the bars. There's certainly nothing wrong with a little day drinking on our time, Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time? Cheers. So now, if you didn't know how good I've got it, that's how good I've got it, you guys. She's an awesome girl. I scored big time, especially considering what I had to run away from in Manila. DJ Joe, thank you, sir. I was telling I didn't welcome you into the stream because I was trying to focus. I'm such a rookie that I don't do I don't do little bullet points, or that's for Filipina P. I just kind of shoot from the hip. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll try it again next week. Joe, did you watch that Netflix show I told you about yet? Buy now on Netflix, you guys. Let me tell you a story. DJ Joe, but it's Joe SA now, and myself both downloaded the latest iOS and had big problems afterwards. Actually, this is a good story, actually. This is going to happen to one of you when you come here. Look at this beautiful phone. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I've only had it in my possession for 14 months. 18 months. Bought it at SM North. At the Apple, there's a big Apple dealer. I mean, we don't have Apple stores here, but there's a big reseller in SM North. I downloaded the iOS 8.1 Thanksgiving Day. 1 hour later, I'm scrolling through. I'm actually looking at something in our chat, Joe, our Lost in PI chat, and the phone just goes poof, black screen, nothing. The iOS killed it. Now, if you watch that show on Netflix called Buy Now, highly recommended, you might get an idea, and it's a conspiracy theory, but you might get an idea of what happened to me and what also happened to Joe. You got to watch it and then come back in next week's live stream. We'll talk about it. And I'll watch it again even. Oh, here's my reader glasses. Are these? Cheers. Okay, you guys did one? Sweet. Should we do another? Mike, Foodie, and Iggy. Iggy's a day drinker. I could get him a drink anytime. Mike, be my bottle buddy. There you go. Hey, what'd you guys do a shot of? You weren't lucky enough to do an Alfonso. Iggy, you probably did Jameson or something, right? By the way, I've got a bottle of Jameson. Look at these are my readers. Oh, I look like that. You know who I look like? The pitcher in Major League. Remember him? Remember that movie, Major League? Oh, wow, I can really see the comments a lot better. I thought this was just for reading close. Whoa, that's amazing. The comments are in 3-dimensional. How about that? I thought these would only work for reading a book. What's that actor's name that played the pitcher in Major League? He was called Wild Thing. That's a great movie. That's how dumb I am. I can't remember that guy's name, and he's like pretty damn popular, right? Pretty damn big Hollywood name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know one of you guys knows. Where's James Lonergan or Clyde Seaside when you need him? Or Maximus. Maximus would know. Maximus knows everything. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Charlie Sheen. Ricky USA. Now, I knew. I forgot about you, Ricky. I knew you'd get it. Thank you. Great movie, right? Was that the greatest movie ever? Oh, Ricky, you're still a wrench. That's good. Oh, by the way, to you guys that carry a wrench, we don't kick anybody out anymore. We're not doing the fucktard salute anymore. Although the fucktard salute was fun. Greg, you got it. True Chief, you got it. Charlie Sheen. Patron. Oh. Iggy Trump's Philo. Iggy Trump's Philo again. That's okay. I'm drinking Filipino style, Iggy. Patron. There you go. That's what happened to Joe. Only 2 years of ownership. So you didn't lose everything. You just lost the touchscreen with your finger, right? Zim Zim, good morning. Do we have a delay here? Iggy says Charlie Sheen. We solved that mystery already, Iggy. Hello, Iggy, catch up with us. Oh, it was only a minute. Oh, we do have something going on. It's 9:01. Why are the comments coming up so slow? The modem light's still flashing. So Joe didn't lose everything. Okay, now here's the rest of the story. All right. I take the phone over to SM Clark because at one time SM Clark was sending phones out for repair. Not anymore. Now there is an authorized Apple repair center at New Point Mall in Nepo Center, which is down in, Angeles proper, downtown. So I take it in there, and the girl says, okay, hold on a second, sir. I'll be right back. It's the same repair center that SM North has. So these guys are good. I've had 2 laptops repaired by this company. So they are good. The unfortunate thing, this is out of warranty. So I'm fucked. My laptops were under warranty. She takes the phone into the back room to one of the techs. They open it up because they've got to get they have to get some kind of a number off of the motherboard, right? Or off of the I think she said the motherboard. She comes back after about 10 minutes or so and says, okay, sir, it's going to be 2,000 pesos to do the investigative, whatever they do, investigative surgery. And then she gets a page on her, or she gets a message. She goes, hold on, sir. Let me go back and talk to the tech again. She goes back and talks to the technician, and he's already had 5 of these in the last week with the same serial number motherboard, and the motherboard's burnt. The whole motherboard has to be replaced for 57,000 pesos to fix it. Now I can probably only sell it for 40. So look, 18 months is all I got out of that. Now I've never, ever had a problem with Apple products ever. And I go back to the iPhone 5 was the first one I've got. This is the first time I've ever had an issue. Something in that iOS, I'm convinced something in the iOS killed it. Yeah, for 3 years, Randy. For 3 years, I've been out of it. I've been in Angeles for 3 years now. Pretty much with Jonah that entire time. Had to get out. We'll probably do a video about that too, eventually. It won't be a live. It'll be a video. Because I've needed to make a video about that for quite some time, and I just haven't done it. Oh, Randy, it's good to see you back. You've been around for a long time too. You were back in the early days of Calocan City. You now have a downgraded Apple laptop. Yeah. Well, how about the speed and stuff, Joe? Because I remember seeing that. When I saw that iPad, you had just bought it. And I was like, damn, that thing is fast. Because I've got a like Generation 3 iPad Air that's in this ballistic case, which is a great unit. But you've got the you got the first uh, sorry, you have the first iPad with a new chip, right? Whatever that chip is called. I mean, this thing's great. It works on games and everything. It's been inside this case since I took it out of the box. So I bought this during pandemic 2020. Yeah, I'm on my second or third iPad. That's what got me into Apple products was I was going to the Philippines and I didn't want to take my laptop. So I bought an iPad because I know the iPad was the closest thing that you could get to a laptop at that time. That was 2013. And that's what I still had a Dell computer and I had an Android phone, but I had this Apple laptop or an Apple iPad. Greg was a lurker. Really? Well, you're active now, brother. It's never too late, right? The M2 chip. Yeah. The new chip is the 4. Okay. Yeah, I know that when you got that, yeah, that's about the time I was over. It was brand new. And it's the big one too, right? I was looking at it going, fuck, this is cool. And I was watching you on Google Maps because you were showing me the condo down there across from. Oh, Mike Foodie. I mean, you would have no idea, but yeah, it's awesome. Fast as hell. And one hell of a good camera. If you were in the live stream yesterday, you saw how good the camera was, even in low light. I've taken video with it. It's just unbelievable. But it's just super fast. I noticed that. Well, I jumped 2 levels from the 14 to the 16. When you're scrolling, it's much quicker. When you push the buttons, it responds faster. So, yeah, it's nice. I had to pay $82K for this one. 82,000, which is $1,400, I think. So it's about 400 more here than it is in the U.S. Or I think it has a list price of 1,100 in the U.S. It's 14 here. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you about that. I'm telling you about this 1.5 hour, 90-minute documentary on Netflix. It's called Buy Now. It's all about this sort of thing, not just with electronics, but with clothing, shoes, accessories. It's very, very interesting, and it makes you think. It makes you think. Buy Now, you guys, on Netflix. Jonah has the okay. S24 Ultra. Jonah has the Samsung. It's not the latest flip phone, but it's a year old. And her camera is awesome. I told her, I said, I'll get this iPhone 14 Pro Max fixed and you can have that. She goes, I don't want that. I'm going to keep mine. She likes the fold. She likes that it folds up into a little square. Greg says, yeah. All right, there's 20 in here now. Sound off. Smash the like button. I'm using StreamYard now, so I can't see. Once I get things a little bit more organized, you guys, I'll have my light up and I'll have my studio deck going. And because I can normally see on the iPad. I used to fire the iPad up and watch the likes and your US number. Okay. So are you on a international Sprint or international Verizon, something like that? You know what was weird, you guys? When I left Logan, I left July of 2020, July 4th, actually, 2020, just 3 months into pandemic. That's 4 months, actually. And when I landed in LAX, T-Mobile, okay. When I landed in LAX, I didn't turn my phone on at that time because I just figured it's not going to work anyway. I need to go to Verizon and get a US SIM card. Shown as a Samsung Flip 4. Yeah, so that would be the last generation, or it's a nice phone, really nice. Now, she had a problem with hers where the screen came apart, where it flips, but they do have an authorized Samsung repair center that's here also. Her phone was under warranty, and they basically gave her a new phone. They just replaced it. A lot of people are doing that, Mike. A lot of people are doing that. They don't have that here in the Philippines because they just don't know how to recycle things, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with the Philippines. Because if you go to these like little phone shops on Fields Avenue and whatnot, they've got tons of old iPhones. iPhone 14 Pro Max, iPhone 12 or 11 Pro Max, or iPhone 11 Plus, or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they haven't figured out the recycling thing for the phones yet. Samsung Flip 4. Yeah, her screen, where it closes, right here, say that's the upper or the lower, right here, it started lifting up the screen. So she had to just keep it open until we figured out that there was a repair center there. And she was only, I think it was only a couple of days, maybe a week at the most, that she went without her her Samsung. But we had a backup Vivo here in my drawer because I had bought a backup Vivo for the motorbike because I didn't want to use the iPhone on the motorbike in case somebody comes by and tries to, or it rains. You don't care if you don't care if it rains on a Vivo phone, a 10,000 peso Vivo phone, but you care when it rains on the 82,000 peso phone. Randy Woods, thanks for coming back. I heard from another subscriber that said he thought I was an idiot for leaving Manila, and he unsubscribed. But no, he didn't unsubscribe. He just stopped following me. And he made that comment this morning. He said, "Yeah, I stopped following you because I thought you had it made there." Well, what you saw in the vlog wasn't necessarily my life. It was just a very small part of it. Sorry. Yeah, I was a Verizon guy too. I did the same thing. It's always nice to have, but you can't do that. You can't trade a phone in here, you know. In the US, you could walk into the Apple store with your iPhone 11 that's only 2 years old, and they'll give you, you know, $600-700 for it. And you apply that to the iPhone 12 or whatever. It was always nice to do that. Ricky, you are right. Vivo has a Y series. The Y series. The V series are more like $400, and they're really good phones. But the Vivo makes a Y series, which we haven't. We've got an extra around here somewhere. I think we've got a Y22 that's. Yeah. We could probably do a whole live stream about that, Joe. I wonder how much it is here in the Philippines. It's probably cheap, right? I wonder if they charge it monthly or how they get it from you. They get it all up front. Maybe I should think about doing that with this one. It's on my. How about that Pogie boy? Look at that. He's at the playground there. It's on the when you go into settings. It says three things that you have. You've got Apple TV free for a year. You've got this. You've got you can extend the warranty. Wow. He just he forgot about it, Mike. 2 hours underwater. Well, I've seen YouTube videos where they're soaking these too. They're not soaking it underwater, but you can like let it get rained on, and I don't know. I've kind of got a weird thing about why test it. I've lost a GoPro that was supposed to be waterproof. Really nice GoPro too. I lost it down in Romblon when I was cliff diving. Yeah, he's one pokey kid. We're in Pappy's last night, and of course, all the girls know him. And he finished what he was eating. What was he eating? Well, I think Jonah just gave him some of her rice and a banana because we had just come from the Pure Gold duty free, and he's like, "All right." He didn't go in the baby seat. He just sat in the big boy seat, and he gets that look on his face. He starts getting a little, and Jonah's like, "All right," he wants to walk, so we put him down and let him walk around the restaurant. Everybody knows him. They know that's his deal. He goes outside and walks up and down the long hallway where the big wooden statues are. Oh, no way, Clyde. You go back and you look at Bisayang Hilao's video. He dove in and I dove in right after him. That was a scary dive, by the way. But, I was on the spot. I was in the Bisayang Hilao vlog. I had to dive. I couldn't puss out. It's kind of like going out and partying with Eric and Nikki. Mangoes. He loves mangoes. He loves mangoes, bananas, and grapes. He's a fruit kid. He loves fresh fruit. We've tried to give him a little taste of peanut butter. He's not too fond of that. And we tried to give him a little bite of French fry. And he was like, ah. And I think it's the salt. He doesn't like salt. Mike says I have a 13 and a 14 Pro Max. Yeah, Mike, you're going to update the 14 Pro Max. That's the phone that I had that died. I mean, it took about. I updated it right when we got back from Pappy's, from Thanksgiving at Pappy's, and then right about an hour later, boom, she just went poof, like a little explosion happened inside the screen. And then, of course, I'm on YouTube looking for and there's tons of videos about it. iPhone 14, dark screen, do this, do that. Everything from putting it in the freezer to lightly tapping it for 5 minutes on the front and then on the back. All this stuff. None of it worked. Chinese products break after 2 uses and then nowhere to go for warranties. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that's the first time I've ever had an issue in damn near 20 years. Mike, we're not feeding him anything like that. He does eat these What are they called? Filipinos call them biscuits, but they're actually crackers, like Ritz crackers. And he does eat those occasionally, about one package a day. But those aren't too bad. They're not salty. We're trying to get him to the point where he's feeding himself. He's really good with the grapes because they're easy to grab. And he's going to be a lefty, you guys. He's going to be left-handed. I'm trying to push things over to the right side of his tray on his baby chair. He'll still grab it with the left hand. He's doing everything with the left hand. So he's going to be like his tita. Jonah's sister is also left-handed. Yeah, that's what we're using, Ricky, is the feta crackers. Yeah, there's no guarantee, Mike, it's going to happen to you. But you've got Joe. It happened to him, and then it happened to me. And there's no reason, that's all I can blame it on is the upgrade or the update. Fiona, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah, Fida. This is it. Fida. These are super cheap. Like 25 pesos a package or something. And he loves these. And it's, I wouldn't imagine this is something. It's kind of like, I don't think it's super bad for him. He's a pretty healthy kid. He's pretty much fruits and vegetables only. And then he gets a little bit of chicken. Jonah will cut up a little bit of chicken in his rice. Yeah. Feta crackers. That's it. Back up your 13 Pro Max before updating. Also write down all apps you're using. Well, as long as he's in the cloud, Ricky, he should be okay, right? I was. It took this when I went through the startup process for the 16, it took it an hour, but it did draw everything I had from the cloud. It didn't miss anything, even the passwords. Okay, Mike, the barbecue is Wednesday. Okay. Come anytime between 5 and 6 Wednesday. We're going to have CJ's come in and we can talk about that at Breakfast Club tomorrow. Philo's hosting a barbecue. First time in a long while. It's going to be good. Smoked chicken wings and Filipino style liempo, all grilled. It's going to be delicious. And mashed potatoes, good old American mashed potatoes. I've got to go to Angel's Bakery and get my ham and cheese. I'm addicted to ham and cheese sandwiches. They've got really good ham at Angel's. Pretty damn good bacon too, but I've been to Pinky's now twice, so they're not open. Don't know why. I don't know why Pinky's is not open. All right. Mike Foodie, that's exactly what I do, man. I butter the bread up and I do a grilled ham and cheese. Sorry, Clyde, it's been suggested that I have CR music that I play. That way you'll all know I'm going to the... Yeah, Mike, they open, the sign says they open at 10, and they're still advertising on Facebook. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. You know how things work here. They just won't take the ad down. They'll let the ad run, even though they're not open. They'll make people think they're open. I've been over there 3 different times. Once I was there before 10 o'clock because I didn't know they opened at 10. And then, so I went back twice after 10 a.m. and nothing. It's all gated up. Maybe they did. Greg, we are going to Tequila Reef Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tequila Reef Tuesdays and Thursdays. Same place that we had lunch. Joan and I had lunch with you in Carr. Mike, I buy the cheese from Angels as well. It's American cheddar. American cheddar. They vacuum pack it. It's really nice. You get maybe, I think it's 12 slices for $2.80, which it's probably expensive. I mean, what is that? 280 pesos, 12 slices, but it's good. I mean, it's not, when you try and buy the cheddar blocks that they sell like at Pure Gold or something, I mean, and you run that through a grater, it's like you're chewing on plastic or something. It's really weird. Oh, Greg, that's right. You're here now. Greg. Huh? Shit, I forgot. See, I've already forgotten that I've been back at this for a month. It's a 1 month today that I've been vlogging again. Greg, we get there between 8 and 8:30. Oh, okay. February 9th. I misunderstood what you were saying. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I've got 3 people coming in February that I've got to hook up with. And another buddy that's coming in March. How are you doing, Clyde? Clyde Seaside. How's your buddy JLB? I don't watch anybody, you guys. I watch Chubbs Dub. I watch Mike. And I watch Ace, and that's pretty much it. CJ. I just don't have time to sit and watch. And I'll watch some random stuff every now and then, that just comes up because I do a lot of TV viewing of YouTube. So, of course, it's a lot different than using the laptop. You don't have as many options. A lot of times when you're on the TV, you just have to watch what the algorithm feeds you. All right, guys, that's 2 hours. So I got to get out of here. Got things to do. Thanks for joining the live. And thanks for enjoying the story because, I thought it was a great story. A lot of girls don't share their journey because they're a little too shy to do it, Thanks, Mike. Mike, I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Iggy, I'll see you on Wednesday when you're in town. Thanks, Mike. Mike Foodie. It's Mike and Mike. Doc Mike and Mike Foodie. Thank you, Ricky. You guys are the only reason I do this. The small support team I've got here. Thanks to everybody who joined, and we will see you on the next vlog. And we'll definitely see you next Monday at 7:30. Thanks so much for joining. Bye now.